it'd be fair to say that there are a lot of things, a lot of additional things the federal government could be doing, and we do not, Republicans in the Senate do not believe the strategy of the Democratic Party here in the Senate of attacking business in the state of Iowa, the CEOs, and dropping the load on them is the answer to all of the problems. So I have asked Senator Angelo, Senator McKinley, and Senator Kettering to be on a task force, and they will be putting together a comprehensive bill that we will bring forward in the near future in the state of Iowa that will, we believe, deal with issues here that the federal government has not been able to do, and it also will deal with a more comprehensive plan, as I said a minute ago, above and beyond what the Democrats have proposed so far. So with that, I'll turn it over. We have two of our task force members here this morning, and I'll turn it over to them, and they can talk a little bit about where they believe that they'll be going with the task force.
Well, this has been a...
Can you give us just one thing?
This will be an opportunity to take a look at an area where Iowans have talked to us in great numbers about, and an area which the federal government has vacated. And we need to take a look at things from a public safety standpoint, the school standpoint, social services standpoints, and maybe just have an opportunity to review what some of the other states have done and see how that might fit into the Iowa economy. It does fit into the Iowa economy. We will need to take a good hard look at that. It should not be targeted, however, just to the employment picture and the employers in Iowa. And so I hope that we can have a little broader look at it and maybe have a response to some of the questions our constituents have given us.
We've already been doing some work individually, and basically Senator Wieck is bringing us all together in regard to working as a task force. We anticipate what we're going to do, and what we've already been doing is how does Iowa Code already address this issue. We've interviewed law enforcement. What is law enforcement's policy here in the state of Iowa? What do they do in regard to this issue? We're also going to be taking a look at what other states have done to address this particular issue. Oklahoma has passed a comprehensive bill. Arizona has passed a comprehensive bill. Nebraska is contemplating a comprehensive bill. Oklahoma took the lead on this issue, and so they've shown us the way that states do have a role in addressing the illegal immigration issue since they've passed their comprehensive approach. We have heard reports that 25,000 illegal immigrants will be leaving Oklahoma. So we do believe that the state has a role to play in this issue, and that we can bring a comprehensive approach to it and actually address an issue, as Senator Kettering has said, that Iowans continue to talk about and put at the top of their priority list.
Any?
Yeah, Jim Seymour from Senate District 28. This is a huge issue in my district, and I've heard a lot about this from my constituents. And although I'm not on the commission, I want to work closely with my colleagues here, and anything that I can lend to this, I'll be happy to do this. I fully embrace immigration. We obviously have the jobs, we need the workers, but we still have to attend to the whole concept of the rule of law. So illegal immigration is not acceptable. But from that, I'm looking forward to working with my colleagues again, and I hope we can do something meaningful. Thank you.
Ron, are you still, the rhetoric this week has been pretty sharp, beginning on opening day. It sounds like the campaign for control of this place in November is already underway. Are you still at, what, 4 retirements?
We're at 4 announced retirements as of right now, that's correct.
Do you anticipate any more?
We have one individual that has not announced yet, and we're waiting for him to make a decision, and we're hoping that we'll see or hear something from that first part of the week.
But nothing beyond that?
No.
And address that whole issue of the tenor of this week so far. It seemed to me to be fairly sharp, fairly partisan. Is that going to run through the session?
Well, you know, I guess I would like to paint the picture for the session and maybe even beyond the session as far as I'm concerned, and I believe that applies to the entire Senate, Republican side of the Senate. We do need to regain a majority, obviously. I don't like being the minority leader. And I see that way back during the interim, that the process to regain the majority in the Senate started way back then. And it started way back then because all summer long we've been recruiting, we've been out raising money, and we've been doing the behind the scenes things that we need to do. But as far as the tempo of what's been talked about and where we've been so far in the Senate session, I think that Iowans want to know what's happening here in the General Assembly, and my remarks on Monday were intended to be geared to looking at how things are being done. You know, we're talking about another issue here. One of the things I talked a lot about on Monday was failure to lead, and I think that's where we're at right here on this issue with illegal immigration. I do not believe that the Democrats have led on this issue once again. And what I'm talking about is that, you know, they sort of keyholed, if you will, in on CEOs and corporate heads, and they want to bring the entire problem down on the back of that group of people in the state of Iowa, when we need a much broader, comprehensive plan. And I believe that the Republicans will show leadership, and when this task force finishes their work and we come down with a plan, it will be a comprehensive plan, not a plan that is targeted at one or two areas.
I don't remember the exact numbers, but there are quite a few more Republicans in the House and Senate leaving than on the Democratic side. Why, in your mind, is that the case?
You know, I've actually had an opportunity to sit down with the four that are leaving, and all four of them have served what they believe the time that they wanted to serve, and they have other interests that they want to move on to, and that's the key reason. They all pretty much have agendas that they want to move into from here.
There's no feeling of pessimism of how November is going to go?
You know, you'd have to get inside their individual heads to answer that question, but that's not been a part of our conversation. November's going to be tough, really is. But I really believe that we've been out doing the things that we need to do, and we've been aligning ourselves. I think I've probably had an opportunity to talk with some of you about our plan. We actually do have a plan in place that will take us through 08, through 10, and I think we have a shot. If we can maintain our numbers in November, it will be a tough fight. But if we can come close to maintaining our numbers in November, I believe that 10 will be an opportunity because of the numbers that are up on the Democratic side and the Republican side. And we've already looked at the individual seats, and I believe that we have an opportunity to regain a number of our seats in 10. I really do, and probably regain a majority in 12.
Is it hard to convince people to stick around until 2012?
Is it hard to convince them to?
Yeah, I mean, if you're, I realize you have a plan long term and you're being realistic and telling them how things look realistically, but that's sort of a long time period for someone who doesn't enjoy being a minority.
You know, it really is, but that's what all of us on this side of the aisle are faced with, is we have to do what we need to do to get back in the majority, and that's not going to happen overnight. And part of what I've been talking a lot to our caucus about and to the candidates that we've been recruiting is, I think we need a new energy. I think we need a new energy level, and that's the direction we're working. That's the thing that we want to do is to have an energy level where people want to get out and really go after getting the majority back.
Is it fair to say with illegal immigration, are you looking more toward what we can do as a state for deportation as opposed to punishment for those who hire illegal immigrants?
You've done a little bit of work on that. You want to talk about that issue?